It's time once again to hear from the mayor of New Hope, Kathi Hemken, to let us know what is new in the city of New Hope. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
I'm fine. Happy May.
Yes, to you as well. And we have got a lot going on in the city because spring is here. And so buckle up and get your calendar out to mark some dates down. Let's begin in community development and some business news to start with. Tell us about Pocket Square and the recent opening.
Well, Pocket Square is the distillery right on 42nd, where Mountain Mud used to be. And so they are now officially open. They also got a permit to do outdoor dining. Even though they don't have food, you can take your cocktail outside, order the pizza next door. They'll bring it to you outside. So we've got some outdoor dining that you can do without a mask on. Try our new business.
Very nice combination with the two restaurants there. Speaking of food, let's talk about Food Truck Fridays. This is something new coming to the city. What is it all about?
Well, the community development staff is doing this, and I think it's just wonderful. So every Friday from 11 to 2, there will be food trucks starting on the 28th of May. There'll be food trucks in the city center parking lot. You can get your food from the food truck, trot back there to the pavilion where there's nice picnic tables. It's just like outdoor dining, but you have to carry your food a little ways. So it should be fun. They're going to try to do it until the end of September. So get out there and see the food trucks on Fridays.
All right. We'll keep you updated on the food trucks and that opportunity. General Inspector for the city. We've been talking about this position being open, and we have a new staff person. Tell us about him.
We do. His name is Tom Evans. He came from Coon Rapids. He's also worked in St. Louis Park and Apple Valley. And so his parents live in New Hope. He's very familiar with the city, and he's quite anxious to get started to work. So he's in orientation on today, Monday, and he'll be hitting the ground on Tuesday.
Welcome to Tom. Let's talk about the city services survey. We've mentioned this a few times that it is coming, and it's coming very quickly now. What was the last step that was taken to get this finally approved?
Well, the city council looked at the survey and approved it. So now it'll go to print, and it'll be in your water bill in July. Now, if you don't get a water bill, if you live in an apartment, you wouldn't get a water bill. So you can either go online and answer the survey. You can go into City Hall and get it there. If all else fails, call City Hall and they'll help you get one somehow. They'll mail it to you or get it to you. So all the submissions have to be in by the middle of September, but you have a chance to tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like changed. And we read every single one of them.
And you see the New Hope website at the bottom of the screen, newhopemn.gov. So if you need to look for it online, that is the place to do it. We talked a little earlier about outdoor dining. Let's talk a little further about some of those standards. Tell us about the performance standards for outdoor dining. What does this mean to residents?
Well, I think that's a strange title, but
Yes.
That's what they're calling it. What it really means is restaurants that are standalone, like Country Kitchen, Pub 42, they can have expand their outdoor dining. The ordinance used to say they could only have 30% of what they could have inside, but now they're dropping that. The only thing that's different is it's not different, but they have to obey the parking and the setback rules of the ordinance. But there will be, you should see some more outdoor dining popping up at those standalone restaurants.
Good. Keep an eye out for that. We talked quite a bit about the survey in recent months and years, and now the census is completed. So tell us a little bit about some of the numbers that the city is seeing from the census.
Well, the census was really a big deal because it only happens once every 10 years. The number of people in the United States increased 7.4%. And the only data that they have released is the state data because we need to do some redistricting. So New Hope, we'll have to back up just a little bit. There's 435 people in the House of Representatives, the U.S. House of Representatives. And those representatives are kind of doled out by the population. We were right next to New York, and had New York counted 89 more people, we would have lost that seat. So as it turns out, New York lost the seat, and we stayed what we had. So thank you for all those people that were out there working, trying to get people to answer the census. And did answer the census. This means this is a big deal for the state. We get an incredible amount of money because of where we are in the census. And now after September 30th, they'll release that data at the state level. So we know how many in the state we have, but now they'll release it down to the cities so that we can do some redistricting and that'll happen in September.
Very good. And we will pass along that information as we get it later on in the year. Scattered site housing, let's give residents an update of some of the projects that are going on. Let's start on Louisiana. What is the latest at 4215?
Well, that house went on MLS now for $415,000. There was a buyer that backed out, and so now it's open at $415,000. So the house will be, it's not done yet, but it will be soon. And the way houses are going, I expect it's probably sold before we even speak of it.
Very true. Let's move up to 46th and Aquila. Give us that update.
That was the house that had the fire. We awarded the demolition contract, so you should see that starting to happen pretty soon, the demolition of that house. You know, they have to take out all of the stuff and take it away because there was a fire. They have 2 months to complete the demolition.
Okay.
And then what will happen is we will sell the lot to a buyer or to a builder, and they will put a house on there, and then they will sell the house.
Very good. And last stop is 52nd and Pennsylvania. How is that project coming along?
That's the same thing. We awarded the contract. This was a different demolition team. They've already started to remove stuff from the yard and some of the hazardous materials inside. So they have 2 months to complete that project too. And again, we'll tear the house down and then we'll sell it to a developer.
All right, here's a quick item to put on your calendar. As we mentioned, there are many coming up. The first is the Business Networking Group coming up with a meeting on May 5th. At what time and what is the topic?
It's 2:00, and the topic is always what's going on in your business, because everyone has a chance to the free advertising, if you will, and talk about their business. There's a woman named Osseo, and she's going to talk about push industries. So that should be kind of exciting. Well, actually, it's push strategies. And she'll be talking about what that is and how you can get involved in that if you want to.
All right. And again, the city's website, a place you can go to find more information out about that networking group. Building permits. There are a few new building permits in the works. A few restaurants coming into town. Tell us, well, one restaurant and one school. First, tell us about the restaurant.
Well, the restaurant is Q Taco, and it's in the parking lot of the New Hope Bowl. So that was a Oriental place for food, and now it's going to be a taco takeout place, and they're doing some internal renovations inside. So they just got the permit for that. Then there's a Spanish immersion school that's going to be on 48th and Boone. That's the old New Hope Church building. They have to do some inside demolition, if you will, to make it more of a classroom setting, but they're good to go also. And so the third one is the permit for Pub 42 to start building out their outside dining. So that's lots of stuff going on. You'll be able to eat outside and get tacos too.
Definitely will. Let's move to the police department. A couple quick updates here. First is Coffee with the Cop. And again, now happening in a way that people might not expect. People can sign up if they're a group and get involved. How does this work?
Well, the chief really wants to get out in the community and just talk to people, let them know what's going on, so people understand what our police officers are trying to do out there. And so if you have an apartment building, or if you're in an apartment building, you can go ask if they'll come out, call the police department, or go onto the website and ask them, ask them if they'll come out and talk to your group. So they come out, it doesn't cost anything, and they're really interesting to listen to. So it's just one of the ways we can get our police officers. You'll get the chief and probably the community development officer, maybe me, if they tell me what it is, and maybe one of the council members, just to be able to ask some questions and stay informed on what's going on in the city.
Very good. Yeah, great opportunity for residents. And another way the police getting out and about is through Meals on Wheels. We have a few more out delivering meals.
We do. Two of our detectives are going out with some staff from the city just to drop off meals at lunchtime to those people who are in need of them. I imagine that's really exciting to see a cop in uniform show up at your door to bring you lunch.
Yes, very nice delivery. Other projects happening around the city. The one most people are probably talking about, Mayor, is Winnetka Avenue and the railroad crossing. How is that coming along?
Well, do not go there.
Okay.
You cannot get past on Winnetka. You cannot get from Bass Lake Road to 42nd or the other one. You just can't cross it at all. It's totally blocked off. So they're asking people to use Boone or Douglas. And so then 42nd or Bass Lake Road and you have to go around that. You can go down to Angelina Drive or up to 50th, but you just can't cross the railroad tracks.
Okay.
And so if you're curious, don't go.
Right.
It's very difficult once you get there to turn around and go the other way. Besides, it's time consuming.
And
I
it'll
do
look beautiful
understand
once
that
it's done.
it will be. The work on 42nd, the mill and overlay from 36th to 42nd, I am told that it's complete. They still have to get their stuff off the road.
Okay.
So the traffic will be a little easier from 36th to 42nd on Winnetka.
Very good. Another street project to talk about. This is street infrastructure is up around Lions Park. What is happening there?
Well, all the streets around the park, they're putting in curb and gutters where needed. And all that street will be torn up and then redone. So they're going to be spending the month of May tearing up the street and most of June putting it back down. So again, it'll be very nice when it's done. They don't have to do a lot of deep cutting into. There's a place on, I think, Oregon and 39th that they have to replace a water main.
Mhm.
But other than that, it's basically mill and overlay. So you'll have a little dust and a little mess, but it'll be nice when it's done.
Very good. Let's move ahead to Park and Rec, and a lot happening here with spring upon us. The first is the bike rodeo. For those watching quickly here, it's coming up this week. What is the bike rodeo and how can people get involved?
Well, it's May 6th from 5:45 to 8 o'clock. You absolutely have to register because of the state guidelines. You need to know exactly how many people are there and how to keep them separated. It's going to be at the Crystal Community Center. It's a free event. I know they're giving away a couple bikes and some other stuff. So it's really a fun thing to do. So pack that bike in the car, drive it over,
Mhm.
let your kids do the bike rodeo. It's really meant for the smaller children, for the grade school kids. It's not really meant for the high school and middle school kids, but it's just a fun event for the little kids and it's free.
Very true. And you have a phone number to pass along in case people don't want to register online or can't. They could give Penny a call. Is that correct?
They can call Penny on 763-531-5150. Penny will help you get registered if you don't or you can't figure out how to do it online.
Very good. Step to it challenge. It is the month of May, and that means people are off stepping and doing other things inside and outside. Why is the Step to It challenge something that you promote pretty heavily?
Well, there's 85 people that have registered with the New Hope team.
Good.
And we don't want to, in other years, we've been third in the cities. We don't want to be third again. So it started May 1st. Start recording your steps. If you didn't sign up before May 1st, you can sign up now by going to step2it.org.
Mhm.
And it's very easy. You just go in once a day, record what you did. It doesn't have to be walking or running. It can be vacuuming and
Right.
gardening and just things that are moving. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do and it's fun.
Yeah.
And there'll be
great
little
program.
prizes given out during the month to those who have signed in and recorded some steps.
All right. Very good. Let's talk about the dancers within the city of New Hope. I understand it's recital time, but a few different rules with recitals again this year.
It is recital time. I want to say it's June. I have to look and see if I can find that date again. It is, so I don't have the date, but it's in June. If you
Okay.
get a dancer, you know that you have to go online and order tickets, register. You can only get 4 tickets per dancer. In previous years, grandma and grandpa and cousins and nephews and all kinds of people would come. Well, you can only get 4 tickets because of the restrictions, and you have to register. There's a guy at City Hall. His name is Aaron, 763-531-5152. Aaron will help you get registered and help you get your tickets if you're having trouble getting that. Your
Excellent.
dancers will know what dates that they're performing.
Very good. Let's talk about softball happening in the city, another activity that's keeping people in New Hope active, but also something for people to come out and just enjoy a game. Is that right?
So the adult softball leagues are starting. They'll be at Lighted Field, Victory, and Northwood Park. There's baseball fields there. Of course, they're always free. They're started now. So if you don't have anything to do on a Monday or Wednesday evening, just go out and watch a game. You might have to bring your own hot dog and beverage, but you can go out and watch a game for free, and they're just fun to watch.
They are indeed. And speaking of Victory Park, also some soccer happening there. Who are the soccer players that will be out at that park?
Well, the Adult Soccer League has started, and they're playing at Victory Park. I don't know what their times are, but I believe they play on Mondays. So get out there and watch free soccer games.
All right. And how about if you want a little baseball? There's a chance to see baseball. And this was a younger group, right? This is the Little League.
Yep, Plymouth and New Hope have a combined Little League team, and Armstrong and Cooper have a youth baseball team. And those kids have started playing now too. I don't know where they're playing, but we'll know. Their schedule should be online if you go to the website. So you can see where they're going to be. And of course, the parents know where they're going to be. You don't have to register to go to those games, and they're really fun to watch.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of fun opportunities outside. And one that is already in the works and will be later in the summer is the Off-Broadway musical theater. What is the latest on that program? And also a great donation that has come in.
So last week they did the tryouts for the play. It's the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which is a long name for a comedy, and that's what it is. So they're going to start rehearsing probably in the next couple of weeks. The other thing I wanted to mention is the theater group gave the city a $3,000 check to help pay for the dressing rooms that we added to the back of the theater. They really needed that. They were dressing behind curtains before, and so they really needed that done, and they gave us $3,000 to help pay for that.
Very, very nice. And we'll tell you more as that gets closer of the dates and ways to get out there and see that performance. How about the golf course? I can imagine that this past Saturday when it was 80 something, the golf course was full as always. How is the course doing?
It is. You can go online and get a tee time, or always you can call the golf course and get one that way. They tell me that the days are filling up pretty quick, and now that leagues have started, they fill up even quicker. But if you haven't signed up for a league and want to, you can still do that. There's still some places, a lot of threesomes will take a fourth, or if you've got a foursome, sign up. And also the youth can sign up for leagues. So now's the time to do it. And it's just always so much fun. The other thing that's happening at the golf course on the 8th, which is this coming Saturday, the day before Mother's Day, is a plant sale. So the idea behind the plant sale is most of the plants are coming from the golf course itself. So I've dug up some plants around the course. I've got a few people that are bringing plants to me also. There's about 700 or 800 plants there, plus coleus. We're selling them for $2 for $5, which is really reasonable. All that money just goes back to the golf course so they can plant more trees, shrubs, plants, whatever they need to plant. So if you don't have anything to do on Saturday morning from 8 to 1, come to the golf course and pick up a few plants.
Sounds great. And final note we want to pass along and mark down this date on your calendar, June 5th. It's going to be swimming time in New Hope. How is the Aquatic Park coming along?
Well, we've hired most of the staff for the Aquatic Park, but there's still a few openings, but we're looking for a few lifeguards. So if you have a lifeguard certificate and you want to be a lifeguard, contact the city and we'll go Park and Rec and we'll get you signed up. If you are not a lifeguard but can swim and want to be, I think the city can help you get that certification also. So June 5th is the opening day. They'll have a ribbon cutting for large contributors like the county and the state that gave us a big chunks of money to build that pool.
Right.
And then a lot of city staff will be at that ribbon cutting. But the actual date of swimming will be June 5th. Now, I understand we've sold 303 pool memberships, they're calling them. So those have been sold already, and 335 people have signed up for swim lessons.
Very good.
So they'll have a vortex pool with the water moving. You can walk the other direction as an exercise place outside. Wonderful place to spend your summer. It
will be the place to be this summer, no doubt, in the city of New Hope and for years to come. Well, Mayor, as always, thank you so much for the information. We appreciate the update. And again, we mentioned the website a few times, newhopemn.gov. If you have any questions or need to sign up for things in the city, that is the place to go. Mayor, thanks again for your time. Look forward to talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Dave. See you then.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.